Okay, I can do it this way.
Get the play so I can do the stage directions.
Okay. We don't have to hurry then. But we are, I think we're recording now. Yep, we are recording now. So you are aware. So without Doron here, I don't have any good jokes to start off the show. Does anybody have a good joke? Free title joke?
Anybody?
Okay. This frog said, okay, wait. I almost fucked it up.
Oh.
Most frogs say ribbit. What does this frog say? Rabbit. Okay, fine.
No, I'm definitely laughing.
Did you email it to me?
Yeah. Did they mute me?
No, you're not muted. Thanks for that wonderful joke.
Yeah, I learned it in the 3rd grade.
I'm not sure I get it. That's our joke to introduce a curious incident of the dog in the nighttime. While we have Liz loading the script, we like to start off by introducing ourselves for anyone who may be watching. I mean, I guess we have a couple people watching now or in the future. So go ahead and introduce yourselves and who you'll be reading for.
Hi there, my name is David and I'll be reading for Christopher.
That's so small.
And my name is Stephanie and I'll be reading for Siobhan.
I'm Val, I'm reading voice 4, which is a number of characters.
I'm Angela and I'm reading for number 40, Lady in Street, Information and Punk Girl.
Hey, I'm Liz. I'm reading stage directions this evening.
And I'm Bob, reading voice 2 and a bunch of other people.
I am Thomas. I'm reading for voice 1, which is a lot of folk.
I'm Alyssa. I'm reading for Mrs. Alexander, Posh Woman, and voice 6.
I'm Natalie, and I'm reading for voice 3 and lots of weird men.
I'm Toby. I'm reading for Ed.
And I'm Erin, and I'm reading for Judy. I think that's everyone, correct? Then, Liz, whenever you're ready to start this thing off, this is a curious incident of the dog in the nighttime.
Okay. Part 1, Garden. A dead dog lies in the middle of the stage. A large garden fork is sticking out of its side. Christopher Boone, 15 years old, stands on one side of it. His 42-year-old neighbor, Mrs. Shears, stands on the other. They stand for a while without saying anything. The rest of the company watch, waiting to see who is going to dare to speak first.
Holy fuck.
Christopher is frozen to the spot.
Oh no. Oh Christ.
Christopher's teacher, 27-year-old Siobhan, opens Christopher's book. She reads from it.
It was 7 minutes after midnight. The dog was lying on the grass in the middle of the lawn in front of Mrs. Shears' house. Its eyes were closed. It looked as if it were running on its side, the way dogs run when they think they are chasing a cat in a dream. But the dog was not running or asleep. The dog was dead.
What have you done?
There was a garden fork sticking out of the dog. The dog was called Wellington. It belonged to Mrs. Shears, who was our friend. She lived on the opposite side of the road, 2 houses to the left.
Get away from my dog!
Christopher takes 2 steps away from the dog.
My name is Christopher John Francis Boone. I live at 36 Randolph Street, Swindon, Wiltshire. I know all the countries of the world and the capital cities, and every prime number up to 7,507.
Get away from my dog, for Christ's sake!
Christopher puts his hands over his ears. He closes his eyes. He rolls forward. He presses his forehead onto the grass. He starts groaning.
After 12.5 minutes, a policeman arrived. He had a big orange leaf stuck to the bottom of his shoe, which was poking out from one side. This is good, Christopher. It's quite exciting. I like the details. They make it more realistic.
A policeman enters. He has a big orange leaf stuck to the bottom of his shoe, which is poking out to one side. He squats next to Christopher.
He squatted down next to me. He said to me.
Christopher stops groaning.
Would you like to tell me what's going on here, young man?
Christopher lifts his head from the ground. There is some time. Christopher looks at the policeman. There is some time.
I do not tell lies. Mother used to say that this was because I was a good person, but it is not because I am a good person. It is because I can't tell lies.
The dog is dead.
I got that far.
I think someone killed the dog.
How old are you?
I'm 15 years and 3 months and 2 days.
And what precisely are you doing in the garden?
I'm talking to you.
Okay. Why were you in the garden in the first place?
I was holding the dog.
Why were you holding the dog?
I like dogs.
Did you kill the dog?
I did not kill the dog.
You seem very upset about this. I'm going to ask you once again.
Christopher starts groaning.
How terrific.
Christopher carries on groaning.
Young man, I'm going to ask you to stop making that noise and to stand up, please, calmly and quietly.
Christopher carries on groaning.
Marvelous. Great, just flippin'.
The police tries to lift him up by his arm. Christopher screams. He hits the policeman. The policeman stares at Christopher. For a while, the two look at one another, neither entirely sure what to say or quite believing what has just happened.
I'm arresting you for assaulting a police officer. I strongly advise you to get in the back of that police car, because if you try any of that monkey business again, you little shit, I'm going to seriously lose my rag. Is that understood?
2. School.
I find people confusing. This is for 2 main reasons. The first main reason is that people do a lot of talking without using any words. Siobhan said that if you raise one eyebrow, it can mean lots of different things. It can mean, I want to do sex with you. I never said that.
Yes, you did.
I didn't use those words, Christopher.
You did on September 12th of last year, at first break.
And it can also mean, I think that what you just said was very stupid.
3. Police station.
Could you empty your pocket onto the desk, please?
He does.
Thank you. Could you empty your pocket onto the desk, please?
Is that in case I have anything in them that I could use to kill myself or escape or attack a policeman with?
The duty sergeant looks at him for a beat.
That's right.
I've got a Swiss Army knife, but I only use that for doing odd jobs, not for stabbing things or hurting people.
Jolly good.
Christopher empties his pockets.
A piece of string.
A piece of wooden puzzle.
Three pellets of rat food for Toby, my pet rat.
£1.47 made up of a £1 coin, a 2 20-pence coin, 2 10-pence coins, a 5-pence coin, and a 2-pence coin.
A red paperclip.
A key for the front door.
A Swiss Army knife with 13 attachments, including a wire stripper and a saw and a toothpick and tweezers.
Could you take your watch off, please, Christopher?
No.
I'm sorry, Christopher.
I need my watch to know exactly what time it is.
Do you have any family, Christopher?
Yes, I do.
And who is your family?
Mother and father, but mother is dead. And also Uncle Terry, who is in Sunderland. He's my father's brother. And my grandparents too, but 3 of them are dead. And Grandma Burton lives in a home because she has senile dementia and thinks I'm someone on television.
Right. Lovely. Do you know your father's phone number, Christopher?
4, police station. Christopher turns to Ed. Ed looks at him. He holds his hand out in front of him with his fingers stretched. Christopher does the same. They touch fingers, then let go.
I could see the Milky Way as they drove me towards the town center.
Could you?
Some people think the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars of millions of light years across.
Is that right?
Christopher, Mr. Boone, could you come this way, please?
Are you going to interview me and record the interview?
I don't think there will be any need for that. I've spoken to your father, and he said you didn't mean to hit the policeman. Did you mean to hit the policeman?
Yes.
But you didn't mean to hurt the policeman.
No, I didn't mean to hurt the policeman. I just wanted him to stop touching me.
You do know that it's wrong to hit a policeman, don't you?
I do.
Did you kill the dog, Christopher?
I did not kill the dog.
Do you know that it is wrong to lie to a policeman and that you can get into a very great deal of trouble if you do?
Yes.
Do you know who killed the dog?
No.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes. I always tell the truth.
Right. I'm going to give you a caution.
Is that going to be on a piece of paper, like a certificate I can keep?
No. A caution means that we are going to keep a record of what you did, that you hit a policeman, that it was an accident, and that you didn't mean to hurt the policeman.
But it wasn't an accident.
Christopher, please.
If you get into any more trouble, we will take out this record and see that you have been given a caution, and we will take things much more seriously. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
5, school.
The second main reason I find people confusing is that people often talk using metaphors. These are examples of metaphors.
I am going to seriously lose my rag.
He was the apple of her eye.
They had a skeleton in the cupboard.
We had a real pig of a day.
The dog was stone dead.
The word metaphor means carrying something from one place to another, and it is when you describe something by using a word for something that it isn't. This means that the word metaphor is a metaphor. Wow, that's clever.
It's true.
Yes. I think it should be called a lie because a pig is not like a day, and people do not have skeletons in their cupboards. And when I try and make a picture of the phrase in my head, it just confuses me, because imagining an apple in someone's eye doesn't have anything to do with liking someone a lot, and it makes you forget what the person was talking about.
6, home. Christopher turns to Ed.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't kill Wellington.
I know. Christopher, You have to stay out of trouble, okay?
I didn't know I was going to get into trouble. I like Wellington, and I went to say hello to him, but I didn't know that someone had killed him.
Just try and keep your nose out of other people's business.
I'm going to find out who killed Wellington.
Were you listening to what I was saying, Christopher?
Yes, I was listening to what you were saying, but when someone gets murdered, you have to find out who did it so they can be punished.
It's a bloody dog, Christopher. A bloody dog.
I think dogs are important too. I think some dogs are cleverer than some people. Steve, for example, who comes to school on Thursdays, needs help eating food, and he probably couldn't fetch a stick.
Leave it.
I wonder if the police will find out who killed him and punish the person.
I said leave it, for God's sake.
Are you sad about Wellington?
Yes, Christopher. You could say that. You
Stephen
could very well say that.
Stephen reads more from the book. 7. Home.
Mother died 2 years ago. I came home from school one day and no one answered the door, so I went and found the secret key that we keep under the flower pot outside the kitchen window. I let myself into the house and wiped my feet on the mat. I put the key in the bowl on the table. I took my coat off and hung by the side of the fridge so it would be ready for school the next day, and gave 3 pellets of rat food to Toby, who is my pet rat. I made myself a raspberry milkshake and heated it up in the microwave. Then I went up to my bedroom and turned on my bedroom light and played 6 games of Tetris and got to level 38, which is my fourth best ever score. An hour later, Father came home from work. Christopher,
Christopher, have you seen your mom?
No.
He went downstairs and started making some phone calls. I did not hear what he said. Then he came up to my room and said he had to go out for a while, and he wasn't sure how long he would be. He said that if I needed anything, I should call him on his mobile phone. He was away for 2.5 hours. When he came back, I went downstairs.
I'm afraid you won't be seeing your mother for a while.
Why not?
Your mother has had to go to a hospital.
Can we visit her?
No.
Why can't we?
She needs rest. She needs to be on her own.
Is it a psychiatric hospital?
No, it's an ordinary hospital. She has a problem. A problem with her heart.
I'll make her a get well card. If I make her a get well card, will you take it in for her tomorrow?
8. School.
How are you today, Christopher?
I'm very well, thank you.
That's good.
In the bus on the way to school, we passed 4 red cars in a row.
4?
So today is a good day.
Great. I'm glad.
I've decided I'm going to try and find out who killed Wellington, because a good day is a day for projects and planning things.
Who's Wellington?
Wellington is a dog that used to belong to my neighbor, Mrs. Shears, who is our friend, but he is dead now because somebody killed him by putting a garden fork through him. And I found him, and then a policeman thought that I'd killed him, but I hadn't. And then he tried to touch me, so I hit him, and then I had to go to the police station.
Gosh.
And I'm going to find out who really killed Wellington and make it a project, even though Father told me not to.
Did he?
Yes.
I see.
I don't always do what I'm told.
Why?
Because when people tell you what to do, it is usually confusing and does not make sense. For example, people often say, be quiet, but they don't tell you for how long to be quiet for.
No. Why did your father tell you not to try to find out who killed Wellington, Christopher?
I don't know.
Christopher, if your father's told you not to do something, maybe you shouldn't do it. Well, we're meant to be writing stories today, so why don't you write about what happened to Wellington?
Okay, I will.
9. Home.
Christopher, I'm sorry. Your mother's died. She had a heart attack. It wasn't expected.
What kind of heart attack?
I don't know what kind of heart attack. Now isn't the moment, Christopher, to be asking questions like that.
It was probably an aneurysm.
I'm sorry, Christopher. I'm really sorry.
10. Street. Mrs. Shear's house is assembled.
That evening, I went round to Mrs. Shear's house and knocked on the door and waited for her to answer it.
Mrs. Shears answers her door. She is drinking a cup of tea.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to come to tell you that I didn't kill Wellington, and I also want to find out who killed him.
Christopher, I really don't want to see you right now.
Do you know who killed Wellington?
You don't go now. I will call the police again.
11. School.
Reverend Peters, where is heaven?
I'm sorry, Christopher.
In our universe, whereabouts is it exactly?
It's not in our universe. It's another kind of place altogether.
There isn't anything outside our universe, Reverend Peters. There isn't another kind of place altogether. Except there might be if you could go through a black hole. But a black hole is what is called a singularity, which means it's impossible to find out what is on the other side because the gravity of a black hole is so big that even electromagnetic waves like light can't get out of it. And electromagnetic waves are how we get information about things which are far away. If heaven is on the other side of a black hole, then dead people would have to be fired into space on a rocket to get there, and they aren't, or people would notice.
Reverend Peters looks at him for a while before he responds.
Well, when I say heaven is outside our universe, it's really just a manner of speaking. I suppose what it really means is they are with God.
But where is God?
Christopher, we should talk about this on another day when I have more time.
12. Street.
The next day was Saturday, and there is not much to do on a Saturday, unless Father takes me out somewhere on an outing to the boating lake or to the garden center. But on this Saturday, England, we were playing Romania at football, which meant that we weren't going to go on an outing because Father wanted to watch the match on the television. So I made a decision. I decided to do some more detection. I decided to go out on my own.
Can I help you?
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Who are you?
I'm Christopher Boone from number 36, and I know you. You're Mr. Thompson.
I'm Mr. Thompson's brother.
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Who the fuck is Wellington?
Mrs. Shear's dog. Mrs. Shear's is from number 39.
Someone killed her dog?
With a fork.
Jesus Christ.
A garden fork.
Oh.
Do you know who killed him?
I haven't a bloody clue.
Did you see anything suspicious on Thursday evening?
Look, son, do you really think you should be going around asking questions like this?
Yes, I do, because I want to find out who killed Wellington, and I'm writing a book about it.
Well, I was in Colchester on Thursday, so you're asking the wrong bloke.
Thank you.
It's Christopher, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Do you know who killed Wellington?
No, I don't. No, I'm sorry.
Do you see anything suspicious on Thursday evening, which might be a clue?
Like what?
Like strangers or the sound of people arguing?
I didn't, Christopher. No.
Do you know of anyone who might want to make Mrs. Shears sad?
Perhaps you should be talking to your father about this.
I can't talk to my father about it because he told me to stay out of other people's business.
Well, maybe he has a point, Christopher.
So you don't know anything that might be a clue?
No, You be careful, young man.
I will be. Thank you for helping me with my questions. Do you know who killed Wellington on Thursday night?
Jack. Bloody hell. Policemen really are getting younger, aren't
Mr. Wise laughs. Christopher walks away.
2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, 47, 53, 59, 61, 67, 71, 73, 79, 83, 89, 97. Do you know anything about Wellington getting killed?
I'm afraid you're going to have to say that again. I'm a little deaf.
Do you know anything about Wellington getting killed?
I heard about it yesterday. Dreadful. Dreadful.
Do you know who killed him?
No, I don't.
Somebody must know, because the person who killed Wellington knows that they killed Wellington. Unless they were a loony and didn't know what they were doing, or unless they had amnesia.
Well, I suppose you're probably right.
Thank you for helping with my investigation.
You're Christopher, aren't you?
Yes, I live at number 36.
We haven't talked before, have we?
No, I don't talk to strangers, but I'm doing detective work.
I see you every day, going to school on your school bus. It's very nice of you to come and say hello, even if it's only because you're doing detective work.
Thank you.
I have a grandson your age.
My age is 15 years and 3 months and 3 days.
Well, almost your age. You don't have a dog, do you?
No.
You'd probably like a dog, wouldn't you?
I have a rat.
A rat?
He's called Toby.
Oh.
Most people don't like rats because they think they carry diseases like bubonic plague. But that's only because they lived in sewers and stowed away on ships coming from foreign countries where there were strange diseases. But rats are very clean.
Do you want to come in for tea?
I don't go into other people's houses.
Well, maybe I could bring some tea out here. Do you like lemonade?
I only like orangeade.
Luckily, I have some of that as well. And what about Battenberg?
I don't know, because I don't know what Battenberg is.
It's a kind of cake. It has marzipan icing round the edge.
Is it a long cake with a square cross-section that can be divided into equally sized, alternately colored squares?
Yes, I think you could probably describe it like that.
I think I'd like the pink squares, but not the yellow squares because I don't like yellow. And I don't know what marzipan is, so I don't know whether I'll like that.
I'm afraid marzipan is yellow too. Perhaps I should bring out some biscuits instead. Do you like biscuits?
Yes, some sorts of biscuits.
I'll get a selection.
She goes into her house. He waits, then before she gets back. 13, school.
She moved very slowly because she was an old lady, and she was inside the house for more than 6 minutes, and I began to get nervous because I didn't know her well enough to know whether she was telling the truth about getting orangeade and Battenberg cake. And I thought she might be ringing the police, and then I'd get into much more serious trouble because of the caution. So I walked away.
The company cheer as if a goal has been scored.
Why would you kill a dog?
I wouldn't.
I think you would only kill a dog if A, you hated the dog, or B, if you were a lunatic, or C, because you wanted to make Mrs. Shears sad. I don't know anybody who hated Wellington, so if it was A, it was probably a stranger. I don't know any lunatics either, so if it was B, it was also probably a stranger.
Right.
But most murders are committed by someone who is known to the victim. In fact, You are most likely to be murdered by a member of your own family on Christmas Day.
Is that a fact?
Yes, actually, it is a fact. Wellington was therefore most likely to have been killed by someone known to him. I only know one person who didn't like Mrs. Shears, and that is Mr. Shears, who divorced Mrs. Shears and left her to live somewhere else, and who knew Wellington very well indeed. This means that Mr. Shears is my prime suspect.
Ooh, Christopher.
I'm going to find out more about Mr. Shears.
14, school office.
Mr. Boone, nobody has ever taken an A-level examination in this school before.
He can be the first then.
I don't know if we have the facilities in the school to allow him to do that.
Then get the facilities.
I can't treat Christopher differently to any other student.
Why not?
Because then everybody would want to be treated differently.
So...
It would set a precedent. Christopher can always do his A-levels later, when he's 18.
Christopher is getting a crap enough deal already, don't you think? Without you shitting on him from a great height as well. Jesus, this is the one thing he's really good at.
We should talk about this later, maybe on our own.
Are there things which you're too embarrassed to say in front of me? In front of Christopher?
No, it's not that.
Say them now, then.
If Christopher takes an A-level, then he would have an invigilator, a member of staff looking after him, to his own in a separate room.
I'll pay for it. They could do it after school. Here, 50 quid. Is that enough?
Mr. Boone.
I'm not going to take no for an answer.
Ed turns to Christopher. 15.
Where have you been?
I've been out.
Just had a phone call from Mrs. Shears. What the hell were you doing poking around her garden?
I was doing detective work trying to figure out who killed Wellington.
How many times do I have to tell you, Christopher? I told you to keep your nose out of other people's businesses.
I think Mr. Shears probably killed Wellington.
I will not have that man's name mentioned in my house.
Everybody on stage pauses to look at Ed and Christopher.
Why not?
That man is evil.
Does that mean he might have killed Wellington?
Jesus wept. Okay, Christopher. I'm going to say this for the last and final time. I will not tell you again. Look at me when I am talking to you, for God's sake. Look at me. You are not going to go asking Mrs. Shears who killed that bloody dog. You are not going to ask anyone who has killed that bloody dog. You are not to go trespassing on other people's gardens. You are to stop this ridiculous bloody detective game right now. I am going to make you promise me, Christopher, and you know what that means. And you know what that means when I make you promise.
16, home.
I think I would make a very good astronaut.
Yes, mate, you probably would.
To be a good astronaut, you have to be intelligent, and I'm intelligent. You also have to understand how machines work, and I'm good at understanding how machines work.
You also have to be someone who would like being on their own in a tiny spacecraft thousands and thousands of miles away from the surface of the Earth and not panic or get claustrophobic or homesick or insane. And I really like little spaces so long as there's no one else in them with me.
I noticed.
Sometimes when I want to be on my own, I get into the laundry room and slide in beside the boiler and pull the door closed behind me and sit there and think for hours, and it makes me feel very calm.
So I would have to be an astronaut on my own, or have my own part of a spaceship that no one else could come into. And also there are no yellow things or brown things in a spacecraft, so that would be okay too. And I would have to talk to other people from Mission Control, but we would do that through a radio link-up and a TV monitor, so it wouldn't be like real people who are strangers, but it would be like playing a computer game.
What you like?
And I also Also, I wouldn't be homesick at all, because I'd be surrounded by lots of things I like, which are machines and computers in outer space. And I'd be able to look out a little window in a spacecraft and know that there was no one else near me for thousands and thousands.
Christopher,
What?
could you please just give it a bit of break, mate? Please.
And know that there was no one else near me for thousands and thousands of miles, which is what I sometimes pretend at night in the summer when I go and lie on the lawn and look up at the sky, and I put my hands round the sides of my face so that I can't see the fence and the chimney and the clothesline, and I can pretend I'm in space. And all I would see would be stars. And stars are the places where the molecules that life is made of were constructed billions of years ago. For example, all the iron in your blood, which stops you being anemic, was made in a star. And I would like it if I could take Toby with me into space, and that might be allowed because they sometimes do take animals into space for experiments. So if I could think of a good experiment you could do with a rat that didn't hurt the rat, I could make them let me take Toby. But if they didn't let me, I would still go because it would be a dream come true.
17. School.
Father said,
I see, that's a pity.
so the book is finished.
Well, Christopher, if your father said that he wanted you to stop, then I think he probably has a good reason, and I think you should stop. But you can still be very proud because what you've written so far is just, well, it's great.
It's not a proper book.
Why not?
It doesn't have a proper ending. I never found out who killed Wellington, so the murderer is still at large.
Not all murders are solved, Christopher. Not all murderers are caught.
Father said I was never to mention Mr. Shear's name in our house again, and that he was an evil man, and maybe that meant he was the person who killed Wellington.
Christopher, I think you should do what your father tells you to do.
18. The street.
What happened to you the other day? I came out again and you'd gone. I had to eat all the biscuits by myself. I was looking forward to our little chat.
I don't do chatting.
No, I don't suppose you do. Do you like computers?
Yes, I like computers. I have a computer in my room.
I know. I can see you sitting at your computer in your bedroom sometimes when I look across the street.
And I like maths and looking after Toby. And I also like outer space and I like being on my own.
I bet you're very good at maths, aren't you?
I am. I'm going to do A-level maths next month, and I'm going to get an A.
Really? A-level maths?
Yes, I don't tell lies.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't mean to suggest you were lying. I just wondered if I'd heard you correctly. I'm a little deaf sometimes.
I'm the first person to take an A-level from my school because it's a special school. All the other children at my school are stupid. Except I'm not meant to call them that, even though that is what they are.
Well, I am very impressed, and I hope you do get an A.
I will.
And the other thing I know about you is your favorite color is not yellow.
No, and it's not brown either. My favorite color is red and metal color. Do you know Mr. Shears?
Not really, no. I mean, I knew him well enough to say hello, but I didn't know much about him. I think he worked in the National Westminster Bank in town.
Father said that he is an evil man. Do you know why he said that?
Perhaps it would be best to not talk about these things, Christopher.
Why not?
Because maybe your father is right, and you shouldn't go around asking questions about this.
Why?
Because obviously he's going to find it quite upsetting.
Why is he going to find it quite upsetting?
I think you know why your father doesn't like Mr. Shears very much.
Did Mr. Shields kill Mother?
Kill her?
Yes. Did he kill Mother?
No. No, of course he didn't kill your mother.
But did he give her stress so that she'd die of a heart attack?
I honestly don't know what you're talking about, Christopher.
Or did he hurt her so that she had to go into hospital?
Did she have to go into hospital?
Yes, and it wasn't very serious at first, but she had a heart attack when she was in the hospital.
Oh my goodness.
And she died.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Christopher, I am so sorry. I never realized.
Why did you say I think you know why your father doesn't like Mr. Shears very much?
Oh, dear. Christopher, look. Perhaps we should take a little walk in the park together. This is not the place to be talking about this kind of thing.
19. Park.
I am going to say something to you, and you must promise not to tell your father I told you this.
Why?
Christopher, please, just trust me.
I promise.
Your mother, before she died, was very good friends with Mr. Shears.
I know.
No, Christopher, I'm not sure that you do. I mean, they were very good friends. Very, very good friends.
Do you mean they were doing sex?
Yes, Christopher, that is what I mean. I'm sorry, Christopher. I really didn't mean to say anything that was going to upset you.
Was that why Mr. Shears left Mrs. Shears? Because he was doing sex with someone else when he was still married to Mrs. Shears?
Yes, I expect so.
I think I should go now.
Are you okay, Christopher?
I can't be on my own with you because you are a stranger.
I'm not a stranger, Christopher. I'm a friend.
21. School. Ed finds Christopher's book on the kitchen table.
Have you told your father about this?
No.
Are you going to tell your father about this?
No.
Ed goes to the book. There is a tone. He begins reading Christopher's book.
Did it make you sad to find this out?
Find what out?
Did it make you sad to find out that your mother and Mr. Shears had an affair?
No.
Are you telling the truth, Christopher?
Yes, I always tell the truth. It didn't make me feel sad because Mother is dead. So I would be feeling sad about something that isn't real and doesn't exist, and that would be stupid.
What was your mother like? Do you remember much about her?
I remember the 20th of July, 2008. I was 9 years old. It was a Saturday. We were on holiday in Cornwall. We were on a beach in a place called Polperro. Mother was wearing a pair of shorts made out of denim and a stripy blue swimming costume, and she was smoking cigarettes called Consulate, which were mint flavored. She wasn't swimming. She was sunbathing on a towel which had red and purple stripes. She was reading a book by Georgette Heyer called The Masqueraders. And then she finished sunbathing and went into the water, and she said,
Bloody Nora, it's cold.
22. Beach.
Bloody Nora, it's cold. And she said I should come and swim too, but I didn't like swimming because I don't like taking my clothes off. And she said I should just roll my trousers up and walk into the water a little way. So I did. And Mother said,
Christopher, look, it's lovely.
And she jumped backwards and disappeared under the water. And I thought a shark had eaten her, and I screamed. And then she stood out of the water and came over to where I was standing and held her right hand and spread her fingers like a fan.
Come on, Christopher. Touch my hand. Come on now. Stop screaming. Touch my hand. Listen to me, Christopher. You can do it. It's okay, Christopher. It's okay. There aren't any sharks in Cornwall.
When we were inside the park, Miss Alexander stopped walking and said, I'm going to say something to you, and you must promise not to tell your father that I told you this. Your mother, before she died, was very good friends with Mr. Shears.
And other times she used to say,
if I hadn't married your father, I think I'd be living in a little farmhouse in the south of France with someone called Jean. And he'd be like, oh, a local handyman, you know, doing painting and decorating for people, gardening, building fences. And we'd have a veranda with figs growing over it. And there would be a field of sunflowers at the bottom of the garden and a little town on the hill in the distance. We'd sit outside in the evening and drink red wine and smoke Galois cigarettes and watch the sun go down.
23. Home.
What is this?
Christopher looks at Ed.
It's a book I'm writing.
Is this true? Did you speak to Miss Alexander?
Yes.
Jesus, Christopher. How stupid are you? What the fuck did I tell you, Christopher?
Not to mention Mr. Shears' name in our house. And not to go asking Mrs. Shears or anybody about who killed that bloody dog. And not to go trespassing on other people's gardens. And not to stop this ridiculous bloody detective game. Except I haven't done any of those things. I just asked Mr. Alexander about Mr. Shears because I was doing chatting.
Don't give me that, you little shit. You knew exactly what you were bloody doing. I've read the book, remember? What else did I say, Christopher?
I don't know.
Come on, you're the memory man. Not to go around sticking your fucking nose into other people's businesses. And what did you do? You go around sticking your nose into other people's businesses. You go around digging up the past and sharing it with every Tom, Dick, and Harry you bump into. What am I going to do with you, Christopher? What the fuck am I going to do with you?
Ed throws Christopher's book.
I was just chatting with Mrs. Alexander. I wasn't doing investigating.
I asked you to do one thing for me, Christopher. One thing.
I didn't want to talk to Mrs. Alexander. It was Mrs. Alexander who...
Ed grabs Christopher's arm. Christopher screams. Ed and Christopher tussle. Ed hits Christopher hard. Christopher falls unconscious for a few seconds. Ed stands above him.
I need a drink.
He goes and picks up the book. He leaves. He comes back without the book.
I'm sorry I hit you. I didn't mean to. I love you very much, Christopher. Don't ever forget that.
Where's my book?
Christopher, do you understand that I love you?
Ed holds his right hand up and spreads his fingers out in a fan. Christopher does the same with his left hand. They make their fingers and thumbs touch each other.
Is it in the dustbin at the front of the house?
25. Map of house.
The next day, when I got home from school, Father was still at work, so I went outside and looked inside the dustbin. But the book wasn't there. I wondered if Father had put it into his van and driven it to the tip and put it into one of the big bins there, but I did not want that to be true because then I would never see it again. One other possibility was that Father had hidden my book somewhere in the house. So I decided to do some detecting and see if I could find it. I started by looking in the kitchen. Then I detected in the laundry room. Then I detected in the dining room. Then I detected in the living room where I found the missing wheel from my Airfix Messerschmitt BF109 G6 model under the sofa. Then I went upstairs, but I didn't do any detecting in my own room because I reasoned that Father wouldn't hide something from me in my own room unless he was being very clever and doing what is called a double bluff, like in a real mystery novel. So I decided to look in my own room only if I couldn't find the book anywhere else. I detected in the bathroom, but the only place to look was in the airing cupboard, and there was nothing in there, which meant the only room left to detect it in was Father's bedroom. I started by looking under the bed. There were 5 shoes and a comb with lots of hair in it, and a monkey wrench and a chocolate biscuit, and a magazine called Men Only, and a pair of underpants from Primark with a little bit of wee left in them, and a Homer Simpson tie and a wooden spoon, but not my book. Then I looked in the drawers on either side of the dressing table, but these only contained aspirin and nail clippers and batteries and dental floss, and tissues and a spare false tooth and a tampon, but my book wasn't there either. Then I looked in his wardrobe. In the bottom of the wardrobe was a large plastic toolbox, which was full of tools for doing it yourself, but I could see these without opening the box because it was made of transparent gray plastic. Then I saw that there was another box underneath the toolbox. The other box was an old cardboard box that is called a shirt box because people used to buy shirts in them.
Christopher finds these things, including, finally, the shirt box.
And when I opened the shirt box, I saw that my book was inside it.
Christopher finds his book.
Then I heard his van pulling up outside the house, and I knew that I had to think fast and be clever. I heard Father shutting out the door of the van, and that is when I saw the envelope. It was an envelope addressed to me, and it was lying under my book in the shirt box with some other envelopes. I picked it up.
Christopher finds the envelope.
It had never been opened. It said,
Christopher Boone, 36 Randolph Street, Swindon, Wiltshire.
Then I noticed there were lots of envelopes, and they were all addressed to me. And this was interesting and confusing. And then I noticed how the words Christopher and Swindon were written. They were written like this.
Christopher, Swindon.
I only know 3 people who do little circles instead of dots over the letter I. And one of them is Siobhan, and one of them was Mr. Loxley, who used to teach at the school, and one of them was Mother.
26. Back to reality.
Christopher?
Hello.
So what you been up to, young man?
Today we did life skills with Siobhan, which was using money and public transport. And I had tomato soup for lunch and 3 apples. And I practiced some maths in the afternoon, and we went for a walk in the park with Miss Peters and collected leaves for making collages.
Excellent, excellent. What do you fancy for chow tonight?
Baked beans and broccoli.
I think that can be very easily arranged. I'm just going to put these shelves up in the living room, if that's all right with you. It'll make a bit of racket, I'm afraid, so if you want to watch television, we're going to have to shift it upstairs.
I'll go and be on my own in my room.
Good man.
I went up to my room, and when I was in the room, I shut the door and took out the envelope. I opened the envelope. Inside, there was a letter, and this was what was written in the letter.
451C Chapter Road, Williston, London, NW2 5NG 0208 887 8907. Dear Christopher, I was looking through some old photos last night, which made me sad. Then I found a photo of you playing with the train set we bought you for a couple of Christmases ago. And that made me happy because it was one of the really good times we had together. Do you remember how you played with it all day and you refused to go to bed at night because you were still playing with it? We told you about train timetables, and you made a train timetable, and you had a clock and you made the train run on time. And there was a little wooden station too. And we showed you how people who wanted to go on the train went to the station and bought a ticket and then got on a train. And you played with it for weeks and weeks and weeks. I liked remembering that a lot. You haven't written to me yet, so I know that you are probably still angry with me. I'm sorry, Christopher, but I still love you. I hope you don't stay angry with me forever. And I'd love it if you were able to write me a letter. I think about you all the time. Lots of love, your mom.
I was really confused. Mother had never written me a letter before, and Mother had never lived in London. There was no date on the letter, so I couldn't work out when Mother had written the letter, And then I looked at the front of the envelope and I saw there was a postmark, and there was a date on the postmark, the 16th of October, 2013, which meant that the letter was posted 18 months after Mother had died. When I started writing my book, there was only one mystery to solve. Now there were two. I decided not to think about it anymore that night because I didn't have enough information and could easily leap to the wrong conclusions.
He lies down on the floor. He curls himself up into a ball. 27. Night. Night falls. Morning rises. 28. School. The next day, Christopher comes home from school.
You're soaking.
Yes.
Give me your coat. I'll hang it up. How was school?
It was good, thank you. Joseph Fleming took his trousers off and went to the toilet all over the floor of the changing room and started to eat it, but Mr. Davis stopped him.
Good old Mr. Davis, eh?
Joseph eats everything.
Does he?
He once ate one of the little blocks of blue disinfectant which hang inside of the toilets. And he once ate a 50-pound note from his mother's wallet. And he eats string and rubber bands and tissues and writing paper and paints and plastic forks. He also bangs his chin and screams a lot.
I know how he feels, Christopher.
Tyrone said that there was a horse and a pig in the poo, so I said that he was being stupid. But Siobhan said he wasn't. There were small plastic animals from the library that the staff used to make people tell stories, and Joseph had eaten them.
Christopher, I've got to go out.
Why?
I've just had a call. There's a lady. Her cellar has flooded. I've got to go out and fix it.
Is it an emergency?
Yes, mate.
It is raining very heavily.
It is.
The rain looks like white sparks.
Christopher, if I go out, will you be okay?
Yes, I will, because there's no one around, because everybody's staying indoors.
Good. Good lad.
I like looking at the rain.
Terrific.
I like it because it makes me think how all the water in the world is connected.
Does it?
This rain is evaporated actually from somewhere like maybe the Gulf of Mexico or maybe Baffin Bay, and now it's falling in front of the house.
I'll have my mobile with me.
Yes.
So you can call me if there's a problem.
Yes.
Behave yourself, Christopher. Yeah?
Yeah.
He exits.
So I went into his bedroom and opened up the cupboard, and lifted the toolbox off the top of the shirt box and opened the shirt box. I counted out the letters. There were 43 of them. They were all addressed to me in the same handwriting. I took one and opened it. Inside was this letter.
As Judy reads, so Christopher begins to assemble his train set. His building becomes frantic, at times almost balletic.
451C, Chapter Road, London. NW25NG, 0208-887-8907. Dear Christopher, I said that I wanted to explain to you why I went away when I had the time to do it properly. Now I have lots of time, so I'm sitting on the sofa here with this letter and the radio on, and I'm going to try and explain. I was not a very good mother, Christopher. If things had been different, maybe if you'd been different, I might have been better at it. But that's just the way things turned out. I'm not like your father. Your father is a much more patient person. He just gets on with things, and if things upset him, he doesn't let it show. But that's not the way I am, and there's nothing I can do to change it. Do you remember once when we were shopping in town together? We went into Bental's, and it was really crowded, and we had to get a Christmas present for Grandma. And you were frightened because of all the people in the shop. You crouched down on the floor and put your hands over your ears, and you were in the way of everyone. So I got cross because I don't like shopping at Christmas either. And I told you to behave, and I tried to pick you up and move you. But you shouted, and you knocked those mixers off the shelf, and there was a big crash. And everyone turned around to see what was going on, and there were boxes and bits of string and bits of broken bowl on the floor, and everyone was staring, and I saw that you had wet yourself. And I was so cross, and I wanted to take you out of the shop, but you wouldn't let me touch you, and you just lay on the floor and screamed and banged your hands and feet on the floor, and the manager came and asked me what the problem was, and I had to pay for 2 broken mixers, and we just had to wait until you stopped screaming. And then I had to walk you all the way home, which took hours, because I knew you wouldn't go on the bus again. And I remember that night, I just cried and cried and cried, and your father was really nice about it at first, and he made you supper and put you to bed, and he said these things happen, and it would be okay. But I said I couldn't take it anymore, and eventually he got really cross, and he told me I was being stupid, and I said I should pull myself together, and I hit him, which was wrong. But I was so upset. We had lots of arguments like that. Because I often thought I couldn't take it anymore. And your father is really patient. But I'm not. I get cross, even though I don't mean to. And by the end, we stopped talking to each other very much because we knew it would always end up in an argument. And I felt really lonely.
And that was when I started spending lots of time with Roger.
And that was when I started spending lots of time with Roger. And I know you might not understand any of this, but I wanted to try to explain so that you knew.
We had a lot in common, and then we realized we were in love with one another.
I said that I couldn't leave you, and he was sad about that, but he understood that you were really important to me.
And you started to shout, and I got cross, and I threw the food across the room, which I know I shouldn't have done.
You grabbed the chopping board, and you threw it, and it hit my foot and broke my toes.
And afterwards at home, your father and I had a huge argument.
And I couldn't walk properly for a month. Do you remember? And your father had to look after you.
And I remember looking at the two of you and seeing you together and thinking how you were really different with him, much calmer.
And it made me so sad because it was like you didn't need me at all.
And I think then I realized you and your father were probably better off if I wasn't living in the house.
And Roger asked me if I wanted to come with him.
And it broke my heart. Sorry, I'm losing my place. And it broke my heart, but eventually I decided it would be better for all of us if I went.
And so I said yes.
And I meant to say goodbye.
But when I rang, your father said I couldn't. He was really angry. He said I couldn't.
He said I couldn't talk to you.
And I didn't know what to do.
He said I was being selfish and that I was never to set foot inside the house again.
And so I haven't.
I wonder if you can understand any of this. I know it will be difficult for you.
I thought what I was doing was the best for all of us. I hope it is.
Christopher, I never meant to hurt you.
I used to have dreams that everything would get better. Do you remember? You used to say that you wanted to be an astronaut. Well, I used to have dreams where you were an astronaut and you were on television, and I thought, that's my son. I wonder what it is that you want to be now. Has it changed? Are you still doing maths? I hope you are. Loads and loads of love. Mother.
Christopher moves to the middle of the track. He crouches down. He rolls himself into a ball. He starts hitting his hands and his feet and his head against the floor as the letter continues. Christopher's thrashing has exhausted him. He has been sick. He lies still for a while, wrapped in a ball.
Christopher? Christopher?
Christopher doesn't respond.
Christopher? Christopher, what the hell are you doing? What are you? He's oh, shit. Oh, Christ.
Christopher doesn't move or respond. Ed stops himself from crying.
It was an accident.
Christopher doesn't respond.
I don't know what to say. I was in such a mess. I said she was in a hospital because I didn't know how to explain. It was so complicated. And once I said that, I couldn't change it. It just got out of control.
Christopher doesn't respond. After a time, Ed approaches him. Very, very gently, he touches his shoulder. Christopher doesn't respond.
Oh, Jesus. Christopher, you've got sick all over your... Let's fit you up and get your clothes off and get you into bed, okay? I'm going to have to touch you, but it's going to be all right.
Ed lifts Christopher onto the side of the bed. Christopher doesn't resist or fight at all. Ed takes Christopher's jumper and shirt off. 30. Home.
Look, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I want you to know that you can trust me. Life is difficult, you know? It's bloody hard telling the truth all the time. But I want you to know that I'm trying. You have to know what I'm going to tell you. That I'm going to tell you the truth from now on. About everything. Because if you don't tell the truth now, then later on it hurts even more. So, I killed Willington, Christopher. Just let me explain. When your mom left, Eileen, Mrs. Shears, she was very good to me. She helped me through a very difficult time. And I'm not sure I would have made it without her. Well, you know how she was around here most days, popping over to see if we're okay, if we needed anything. I thought, oh, shit, Christopher. I'm trying to keep this simple. I thought we were friends, and I guess I thought wrong. We argued, Christopher. And she said some things I'm not going to say to you because they're not nice, but they hurt. But I think she cared more for that bloody dog than for us. Maybe that's not so stupid looking back. Maybe it's easier living on your own, looking after some stupid mutt than sharing your life with other actual human beings. I mean, shit, buddy, we're not exactly low maintenance, are we? Anyway, we had this fight. Well, quite a few fights, to be honest. But after this particular nasty bust-up, she chucked me out of the house. And you know what that bloody dog was like? Nice as pie. One moment, rolled over, tickled its stomach, its stomach, sink its teeth into your leg the next. Anyway, we were yelling at each other, and it's in the garden. So when she slams the door behind me, the bugger's waiting for me. And I know. Maybe if I just given it a kick, it would have probably backed off. But shit, Christopher, when the red mist comes down, Christ, you know what I'm talking about? I mean, we're not that different, me and you. It was like everything I've been bottling up for 2 years just... I promise you, I never meant for it to turn out like this.
Ed holds his right hand up for Christopher to touch. Christopher ignores it. Ed stares at Christopher.
Okay, look, Christopher, I'm sorry. Let's leave it for tonight, okay? I'm gonna go downstairs, and you get some sleep, and we'll talk in the morning. It's going to be all right. Honestly. Trust me.
Ed leaves. Christopher groans. He starts counting.
2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048, 4096, 8192, 16384, 32768, 32768, 32768.
Father had murdered Wellington. That meant he could murder me. I had to get out of the house. I made a decision. I did this by thinking of all the things I could do and deciding whether they were the right decision or not.
Stay home.
I decided I couldn't stay home anymore.
Christopher, please.
No, because I can't live in a house.
No, because I can't live in the house with you anymore because it is dangerous. I can't go and live with you because you can't look after me when school's closed.
I could try and...
No, because you're a teacher.
Yes.
Not a friend or a member of my family.
You could go live with your Uncle Terry.
You live in Sunderland. I don't know how to get to Sunderland.
Get a train. Get the train from Swindon.
Also, you smoke cigarettes, and you stroke my hair. You're not a friend either.
I think I am a friend.
No, and you're not a member of my family.
I do have a dog.
Yes, but I can't stay overnight in your house or use your toilet because you've used it and you're a stranger.
I'm not really a stranger, Christopher.
Yes.
451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG.
Christopher looks at Judy.
451C, Chapter Road.
London, NW2 5NG.
Light falls. End of part 1.
Does anyone need an intermission, or should we keep going?
Oh boy, that's a hell of an act 1.
It is.
Need a break to get some tissues?
Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
If everyone's good, we could just keep rolling through, yeah?
I'm good.
Let's do it.
Oh, Doron made it. Hello.
Hi. Sorry, I'm a sleepy baby. I sleep.
Well,
Terrible.
so it's basically John Wick, and we're at the part where he goes to the car dealer.
Wait, John Leguizamo's in this? I did research for who is in the show, and I never saw John Leguizamo's name.
Surprise!
It was uncredited.
Liz, are you taking over my job? It's totally fine. I'm into it.
Are you the stage direction guy?
I am the stage direction guy.
Yeah, I just did Act 1. Do you want to do Act 2?
I can do Act 2. I don't want to. What's up?
I said if you would like.
I
mean,
can
kind of
do
your
it.
gig, sleepy baby.
I'm a sleepy baby, but I like to read stage directions.
Up to you. I'll leave it to you. It's your thing.
I mean, if
I'm
you're
gonna stick around for Act 2 because I gotta know how it ends, yo.
Yeah, if you would like to, please feel free, but I will read it because I don't want to make you enjoy Act 2 by reading stage directions, but an audience member.
All right, you go for it.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Is everybody else ready?
I need
Let's do it.
some cherries, Ange.
Okay. Part 2. 31, schoolroom and school hall. The company is on stage.
Christopher, I want to ask you something. Mrs. Gascoigne wondered if we would like to do a play this year. She asked me to ask everybody if we'd like to make some kind of performance for the school. Everybody could join in and play a part in it.
I think that it would be a good thing for everyone to join in and play a part in it.
I was wondering if you'd like to make a play out of your book.
No.
I think it could be really good fun, Christopher.
I think it could be really good fun.
No. It's a book, and it's for me, and not everybody. Just for me.
I know that, Christopher, but I think a lot of people would be interested in what would happen if people took your book and started acting bits out of it.
No. I don't like acting because it is pretending that something is real when it's not really real at all. So it's kind of a lie.
But people like stories, Christopher. Some people like things which are kind of true. Some people find things which are kind of true in things which are made up. You like your Sherlock Holmes stories, and you know Sherlock Holmes isn't a real person, don't you? I would help you if you were worried about that.
No.
I think I'd rather like to take the part of policeman.
You're too old to be a policeman.
Christopher! Christopher!
Company move into the space and watch Ed. Christopher hides. Nobody gives Ed a clue as to where Christopher is. After a while, he gives up. 32 Street. Then Christopher comes out. He is holding Toby in his cage.
Christopher, what on earth has happened to you?
Can you look after Toby for me?
Oh.
He eats special pellets, and you can buy them from a pet shop. He needs fresh water every day, too.
Why do you need someone to look after Toby, Christopher?
I'm going to live with Mother.
I thought you told me your mother was dead.
I thought she was dead, but she was still alive. And Father lied to me. And also he killed Wellington.
Is your mother here?
No, Mother is in London.
So you're going to London on your own?
I think I'm going to do that, yes.
Where's your father at the moment, Christopher?
I don't know.
Well, perhaps we should try and give him a ring and see if we can get in touch with him. I'm sure he's worried about you. And I'm sure that there's been a dreadful misunderstanding.
33 Home. Christopher leaves. He goes back to his house. He sees his dad's credit card on the floor. He stares at it, frozen in his tracks. He approaches the card. He takes it, puts it in his pocket.
3558.
3558.
3558.
3558.
3558.
3558.
He leaves the house. 34 Swindon. The company make Swindon town center.
Where can I buy a map?
I don't know. Where do you want to get to?
I'm going to the train station.
You don't need a map to get to the station. You can see it from here.
No, I can't.
There, that building. Says Signal Point on the top. There's a British Rail sign on the other end. The station's at the bottom of that.
Do you mean the stripy building with the horizontal windows that you can see poking out over those houses?
That's the one.
How do I get to that building?
Jeez Louise.
I knew that the train station was somewhere near, and if something is nearby, you can find it by moving in a spiral. Walking clockwise and taking every right turn until you come back to a road you've already walked on. Then taking the next left. Then taking every right turn, and so on and so on. And that was how I found the station.
35 Swindon train station. The voices here are pre-recorded.
Customers seeking access to the car park, please use assistant phone opposite right of the ticket office.
Warning, CCTV in operation.
Great Western.
Cold beers and lagers.
Caution, wet floor.
Your 50p will keep a premature baby alive for 1.8 seconds.
Transforming travel.
Refreshingly different.
It's delicious, it's creamy, and it's only £1.30 hot choc deluxe.
0870 777 7676.
The lemon tree.
No smoking!
Fine teas.
Automatic fire door, keep clear.
Air conditioned.
Reserved parking.
Open as usual this way.
No smoking.
No alcohol.
Dogs must be carried.
RVP.
Dogs must be carried.
LFB.
A perfect blend.
Royal Mail.
Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Dogs must be carried at all times.
Special lunch offers.
Parking subject to the Railway Bylaws, Section 219 of the Transport Act 2000.
Please stand on the right.
Superb coffee.
Step-free access.
Take extra care with children.
Superb coffee.
Cash dispensers.
Superb coffee.
Dogs must be carried at all times.
Are you all right, young man?
You're too old.
Are you all right, young man?
You're too old to play a policeman.
Are you all right, young man?
No.
You're looking a bit worse for wear. The lady at the cafe said that when she tried talking to you, you were in a complete trance. What's your name?
Christopher Boone.
Where do you live?
36 Randolph Street.
What are you doing here?
I need to sit down and be quiet and think.
Okay, let's keep it simple. What are you doing at the railway station?
I'm going to see Mother.
Mother.
Yes, Mother.
Well, when's your train?
I don't know. She lives in London. I don't know when there's a train to London.
So you don't live with your mother?
No, but I'm going to.
So where does your mother live?
In London.
Yes, but where in London?
45C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG.
What is that?
That's Toby, my pet rat.
A pet rat?
Yes, a pet rat. He's very clean and he hasn't got bubonic plague.
Well, that's very reassuring.
Yes.
Have you got a ticket?
No.
So how precisely are you going to get to London then?
I have a bank card.
Is this your card?
No, it's Father's.
Father's?
Yes, Father's.
Okay.
He told me the number. It's 3558.
Shh. Why don't you and I take a stroll to the cash machine, eh?
You mustn't touch me.
Why would I want to touch you?
Don't know.
Well, neither do I.
Because I got a caution from hitting a policeman, but I didn't mean to hurt him, and if I do it again, I'll be a lot worse because of the caution.
Please insert your card.
You're serious, aren't you?
Yes.
Enter your personal identification number.
You lead the way.
Where?
Back to the ticket office.
Please enter amount. £10, £20, £50, £100.
How much does it cost to get a ticket to London?
About 20 quid.
Please wait. Your transaction is being processed.
Is that pounds?
Christ alive, yeah, it's 20 pounds.
Please take your card and wait for your cash.
Well, I guess I shouldn't keep you chatting any longer.
Where do I get a ticket? Where do I get a ticket for the train from?
You're a prize specimen, aren't you?
Where do I get a ticket for the train from?
In there. Now, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Yes, I'm going to London to live with my mother.
Has your mother got a telephone number?
Yes.
And can you tell me what it is?
Yes. It's 0208 887 8907.
And you'll ring her if you get into any trouble, okay?
I want to go to London.
If you don't mind,
I want to go to London.
single or return?
What does single or return mean?
Do you want to go one way or do you want to come back?
I want to stay there when I get there.
For how long?
Until I go to university.
Single then, that'll be £17.
When is the train to London?
Platform 1, 5 minutes.
Where is platform 1?
Through the underpass and up the stairs. You'll see the signs.
Somebody bumps into Christopher. He barks at them like a dog.
Underpass means tunnel, Christopher. In your head, imagine a big red line across the floor. It starts at your feet and goes through the tunnel, and walk along the line and count the rhythm in your head, because that helps, doesn't it? Like when you're doing music or when you're drumming. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Is this the train to London?
36 on train.
Christopher, caught you just in time. We've got your father at the police station. He's looking for you.
Christopher tries to run. The policeman grabs him. Christopher screams. The policeman lets go.
Okay, let's not get overexcited here. I'm going to take you back to the police station, and you and me and your dad can sit down and have a little chat who's going where.
Have you arrested Father?
Arrested him? What for?
He killed a dog with a garden fork. The dog was called Wellington.
Well, we can talk about that as well. Right now, young man, I think you've done enough adventuring for one day.
The policeman reaches out to touch him. He screams.
Now listen, you little monkey. You can either do what I say or I'm going to have to make...
The train begins to move.
Shitting fuck.
Why are you swearing? Have we started? Has the train started?
Don't move. Rob? Yeah, it's Nigel. I'm stuck here on the bloody train. Yeah, don't even. Look, it stops at Didcot Parkway. So if you can get someone to meet me with a car, cheers. Tell his old man we've got him, but it's going to take a while, okay? Great. Let's get ourselves a seat. Park yourself. You are a bloody handful, you are. Jeez.
36A, Dream.
I see everything. Most other people are lazy. They never look at everything. They do what is called glancing, which is the same word for buffing off something and carrying on in almost the same direction. And the information in their head is really simple. For example, if they are on a train looking out of a window at the countryside, it might be 1.
I am sitting on a train looking out at the field that is full of grass.
2.
There are some cows in the field.
3.
It is sunny with a few clouds.
4.
There are some flowers in the grass.
5.
There's a village in the distance.
6.
There is a fence on the edge of the field and it has a gate in it.
And then they would stop noticing anything because they would be thinking something else, like...
Wonder if Julie has given birth yet.
Or...
I'm worried that I might have left the oven on.
Or...
I really want a bag of cheese puffs.
But if I was sitting looking out of the window of a train onto the countryside, I notice everything, like...
As Christopher talks, he raps out a nervous rhythm with his hand. Bold text indicates text actually spoken by Christopher as his language breaks down.
Page 50.
Christopher.
Types of grass and 2 colors of flowers in the grass. The cows are mostly facing uphill. There are 3 different visible nimbostratus clouds. 7. The hedge is moving to suggest there's a wind blowing from a northwesterly direction. 8. There's a white Reebok running shoe in one corner of the field. 9. There is a Coca-Cola. 10. There is the snail. The snail. There are cows. The cows are facing the snail. There are nimbostratus clouds. There is a wind. There is a hedge. There is a Boeing 747-400. There's a white Reebok trainer. There is graffiti. Jam plus Ivan forever.
36B, back to reality.
Christ, you've wet yourself. For God's sake, go to the bloody toilet, will you?
But I'm on a train.
They do have toilets on trains, you know.
Where is the toilet on the train?
Through those doors there, but I'll be keeping an eye on you, you understand?
No.
Just go to the bloody toilet.
Christopher stands. He walks down the corridor of the train. Shaking, closing his eyes, he pisses. He tries to wash his hand, but he can't because there's no running water. He spits on his hands to wash them. He rubs them dry with toilet paper. Shaking, he leaves the toilet. He goes to the luggage rack. He climbs onto the shelf. He hides himself. He starts listing prime numbers to himself. As he continues to count, the policeman notices he's gone. The counting continue under the following exchanges.
2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13,
Christopher!
17, 19,
Bloody hell.
23,
He leaves.
31,
Christopher stays where he is.
37,
Still
41,
counting. A woman
43,
approaches him.
47,
Take her bag.
53, 59, 61, 67, 71, 73, 79, 83, 89, 97, 101, 103, 107, 109, 113, 127, 131, 137, 139, 149, 151, 157, 163, 167, 173, 179, 181, 191, 193, 197, 199, 211, 223, 227, 229, 233, 239, 241, 251, 257, 263, 269, 271, 277, 281.
He leaves. Christopher stays where he is, still counting. A woman approaches him to take her bag.
You scared the living daylights out of me. Can I just get my bag? I think someone's out on the platform looking for
God
you.
damn it, I've been screaming. I just was on mute. You scared the living daylights out of me. Can I just get my bag? I think someone's out there on the platform looking for you.
I know.
But it's your funeral.
She takes her bag. She leaves. Christopher stays hidden behind the smaller pile of bags, still counting. A posh woman approaches. She takes her bag.
You're touching my bag!
Yes.
She leaves. Christopher stays hidden behind the still smaller pile of bags, still counting. Two drunk men approach to take their bags.
Come and look at this, Barry. They got like a train is.
Well, we have both been drinking.
Yeah, we should kidnap him.
He could be our elf mascot.
Come on, shift it, you stupid dick. Haven't you got a gnome to go to?
A lady takes her bag. It's the wrong one. She realizes.
Bollocks!
Another lady runs to grab her bag. She is talking to someone on the platform.
Coming! I'm coming, all right? Wait for me in the car.
Both ladies take the correct bag and leave Christopher alone. He stops counting. He lies still for a while. He looks around for the first time. He is alone on stage.
I waited for nine more minutes, but nobody else came past, and the train was really quiet, and I didn't move again, so I realized that the train had stopped. And I knew that the last stop on the train was London. I heard the sound of feet, and it was a policeman. And I could see him through the door in the next carriage looking under the seats. I decided I didn't like the policeman so much anymore. I got off the train.
Christopher very tentatively gets down off the luggage rack and off the train. 37, platform.
Right, left, right, left, right.
Left, right, 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 left.
These voices are also recorded.
Eat pastries.
Heathrow Airport, check in here.
Bagel Factory.
Eat!
Excellence and taste.
Yo, sushi!
Station Link.
Buses.
W.H. Smith.
Mezzanine.
Heathrow Express.
Clinique.
First class lounge.
Fuller's.
Easy Car Co.
The Mod Bishop.
And Bear Public House.
Fuller's London Pride.
Dixon's our price.
Paddington Bear at Paddington Station.
Tickets.
Taxis.
First aid.
Eastbourne Terrace.
Way out.
Train.
Shit. Are you okay?
The lawn.
Queue here, please.
Upper Crust.
Sainsbury's.
Local information.
Great Western first.
Position closed.
Closed.
Sorry, I skipped one. Position closed.
Sock shop.
Fast ticket point.
Millie's Cookies.
Copy.
Fergie to stay at Manchester United.
Fresh baked cookies and muffins.
Penalty fares.
Warning.
Savory pastries.
Platform 14.
Burger King.
I think we lost Royce too.
Freshfield.
The Reef Cafe Bar.
Business travel.
Special edition.
Top 75 albums.
Evening Standard.
As the chorus becomes more cacophonous, Christopher finds it more difficult to continue to walk. Christopher stops, rests his head against a box, puts his hand over his ears. A station guard approaches him.
You look lost.
Christopher pulls out his Swiss Army knife. The guard backs away.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Christopher carries on.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
He makes his hands into a telescope to limit his field of vision. He approaches an information center.
Is this London? Is this London?
Indeed it is.
How do I get to 45C, Chapter Road, London, NW25NG?
Where is that?
It's 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW25NG. And sometimes you can write it 541C, Chapter Road, Wildenson, London, NW25NG.
Take the tube to Willesden Junction. Willesden got to be near.
What is a tube?
Are you for real? Over there. See that big staircase with the escalators? See the sign? Says underground. Take the Bakerloo line to Willesden Junction or the Jubilee to Willesden Green. You okay?
Don't do this, Christopher.
Get away from me.
Christopher, you won't be able to.
I'm doing really well.
Where's your Swiss Army knife? Have you lost it?
It's in my pocket.
Where's your red line gone? See? It's disappeared, hasn't it? How the hell are you going to find the Jubilee line? You don't even know where an escalator is, do you?
It's a moving staircase. You step onto it. It carries you down. It's funny. Look.
Stop laughing.
It's like something out of science fiction.
I'm worried about you.
You're lying. You killed Wellington.
Where are you going?
To watch the people. It's easy, look. It's easy, look. You go to the black machine. You look at where you want to go. You find the price. You put your money in.
You haven't got any money.
I have. I stole your card.
You little shit.
You take ticket and change. You go up to the gray gate. You put your ticket in the slot. It comes out of the other side.
There's no Jubilee line. How are you going to get to Willesden Green?
There's a Bakerloo line. Look, I can take that to Wilden's Junction.
Come back home.
Swindon's not my home anymore. My home is 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG.
39, platform. The tube appears.
Stand behind the yellow line.
I know.
The train will be very noisy.
I know.
It'll really scare you.
I know.
Try not to let it. Watch what the people do. Watch how they get on and off.
Yes.
The company stand with Christopher on the platform.
Count the trains. Figure it out. Get the rhythm right. Trains coming. Train stopped. Doors open. Train going. Silence. Trains coming. Train stopped. Doors open. Train going. Silence. Train coming. Train stopped.
Doors open. Train going. Silence. Train coming. Train stopped. Doors open. Train going. Silence. Train coming. Train stopped. Doors open. Train going. Silence. Train coming. Train stopped. Doors open. Train going. Silence. Train coming. Train stopped. Doors open.
Christopher looks in Toby's cage. He can't find Toby.
Toby? Toby? Where are you? Toby? Toby, what are you doing down there? Toby, get back up here this instant. I'm warning you. If you don't get back up here this instant, then I will come down there to get you. Right. I'm coming down there, Toby. And when I catch you, I'm going to be very cross. I'm not going to let you play on your wheel for a whole week.
Jesus, what are you doing?
My rat is on here.
Get out of there, for fuck's sake.
Toby, it's filthy down here. You'll get so dirty.
Oh my days! What is he doing?
What does it bloody well look like he's doing?
Call somebody. Get somebody. Don't just stand there.
There's nobody to call. Mate, please, for Christ's sake, please get back up here.
I can't get back up there. My rat is on here.
What?
Mate, please, you're going to get yourself killed.
You're going to have to get down there and get him.
Me? What the hell has it got to do with me?
He's a kid. You can't just let him get hit.
Yes, I know he's a kid. I can see he's a kid by bloody well looking at him. Mate, please come on.
Toby, stop being so difficult.
I don't believe this is happening. This is ridiculous. Mate, get your ass out of there now.
The tube train starts rumbling.
Don't panic. I found him.
Help him, then, you muppet.
Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ.
Christopher and Toby are back on the platform.
What the fuck do you think you were playing at?
I was finding Toby. He's my pet rat.
Fucking Nora.
Is he okay?
Him? Thanks a bundle. Jesus Christ, a pet rat. Oh, shit. My train, fuck.
Man with socks leaves.
Are you okay?
She touches his arms. He screams.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Stand further away. I got a Swiss Army knife and it had a saw blade and it could cut someone's finger off.
Okay, buddy. I'm going to take that as a no.
Punk girl leaves. Christopher counts the trains again.
train.
Looks like you might have frozen.
I think he's frozen. I'm gonna go for it. Train coming. Train stopped. Doors open. Train going. Train coming. Train stopped. Doors open. Train going. Train coming. Train stopped. Doors open. Christopher is bundled onto the train. 40 tube train. Is this train
going to Wilden's Junction?
The voices here are recorded.
There are 53,963 holiday cottages in Scandinavia and Germany.
Bobby's muted.
Is this train going to Willesden Junction?
3435.
Penalty, £25 if you fail to show a valid ticket for your entire journey.
Discover gold, then bronze.
Is this train going to Wilden's Junction?
TVIC.
EPBIC.
Obstructing the doors can be dangerous.
BRV.
Con IC.
Is this train going to Wilden's Junction?
Talk to the world.
Warwick Avenue, Maida Vale, Kilburn Park, Queen's Park, Kensal Green, Wilson Junction.
41 Wilson Junction.
Where is 451C Chapter Road, London, NW25NG?
A shopkeeper shows them an A to Z of London.
A to Z of London, £5.95. Are you going to buy it or not?
I don't know.
Well, you can get your dirty fingers off if you don't mind.
Where is 451C Chapter Road, London, NW25NG?
You can either buy the A to Z or A to Z, or you can get out. I'm not a walking encyclopedia.
Is that the A to Z?
No, it's a bloody crocodile.
Is that the A to Z?
Yes, it's the A to Z.
Can I buy it?
$5.95, but you're going to give me the money first.
Christopher examines the A to Z. He opens it. He looks for Chapter Road.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
Christopher closes the map. His voice quietens the more he talks, and as he talks, he squats and then huddles into a ball. Christopher sits silently, huddled for a while. 42 outside Judy's house. Judy and Roger enter.
I don't care whether you thought it was funny or not.
Judy, look, I'm sorry, okay?
Well, perhaps you should have thought about that before you made me look like a complete idiot.
Christopher stands up. Judy sees him. The two look at one another.
You weren't in, so I waited for you.
Christopher.
What?
Christopher?
She goes to hug him. He pushes her away so hard that he falls over.
What the hell is going on?
I'm so sorry, Christopher. I forgot.
Judy spreads her fingers. Christopher spreads his to touch hands with her.
I suppose this means Ed's here.
Where's your father, Christopher?
I think he's in Swindon.
Thank God for that.
But how did you get here?
I came on the train.
Oh my God, Christopher. I didn't think I'd ever... Why are you here on your own? Christopher, you're soaking. Roger, don't just stand there.
Are you going to come in, or are you going to stand out here all night?
I'm going to live with you because Father killed Wellington with a garden fork.
Jumping Jack Christ.
Roger, please. Come on, Christopher. Let's go inside and get you dried off.
Come on, little soldier. Let's get you warmed up. You'll catch your death out here.
Christopher does not move.
You follow Roger.
Christopher does move. He gives Toby to Roger.
He's hungry. Have you got any food I can give him and some water?
43, inside Judy's house.
Are you okay, Christopher?
I'm tired.
I know, love. I can get you a blanket.
No, don't. I've got a sleeping bag in my backpack.
Will you let me help you get your clothes off? Will you help me get your clothes off? I can get you a clean t-shirt. You could get yourself into bed.
She leaves the bedroom and gets Roger to pass her a t-shirt.
T-shirt. Pass me a t-shirt.
She goes back into Christopher's room and changes him. He wears one of her old t-shirts.
You're very brave.
Yes.
You never wrote to me.
I know.
Why didn't you write to me, Christopher? I wrote you all those letters. I kept thinking something dreadful had happened, or you'd moved away, and I'd never find out where you were.
Father said you were dead.
What?
He said you went into hospital because you had something wrong with your heart, and then you had a heart attack and died.
Oh, my God. Oh.
Why are you doing that?
Oh, Christopher. I'm so sorry.
What for?
Bastard. The bastard. Christopher, let me hold your hand. Just for once. Just for me. Will you? I won't hold it hard.
I don't like people holding my hand.
No. Oh, okay. That's okay.
44, in Christopher's bedroom at Judy's.
I need to speak to him.
He's been through enough already today.
I know, but I still need to speak to him. Christopher Boone, can you open the door, please?
Come on, Christopher.
Christopher, love. It's all right. Just open the door, will you, sweetheart?
Is he going to take me away?
No, Christopher, he isn't.
Will you take me away?
No, I won't.
Your father says you've run away. Is that right?
Yes.
Is this your mother?
Yes.
Why did you run away?
Because Father killed Wellington, who is a dog, and so that meant he could kill me.
So I've been told. Do you want to go back to Swindon to your father, or do you want to stay here?
I want to stay here.
And how do you feel about that?
I want to stay here.
Hang on, I'm asking your mother.
You told Christopher I was dead.
Okay, let's not get into an argument about who said what here. I just want to know whether he can...
Of course he can stay.
Well, that probably settles it as far as I'm concerned.
Are you going to take me back to Swindon?
No. If your husband turns up and causes any trouble, just give us a ring. Otherwise, you're going to have to sort it out amongst yourselves.
45. Middle of the night, corridor outside Christopher's bedroom.
I'm talking to her whether you like it or not.
Roger, don't.
I'm not going to be spoken to like that in my own home.
I'll talk to you how I damn well like.
You have no right to be here.
He's my son, in case you've forgotten.
What in God's name did you think you were playing at, saying those things to him?
You were the one that bloody left.
So you decided to just wipe me out of his life altogether?
Now let's just all...
Okay, good.
Now let's just all calm down here, shall we?
Well, isn't that what you wanted?
I wrote to him every week.
What the fuck use is writing to him?
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I cooked his meals. I cleaned his clothes. I looked after him every weekend. I looked after him when he was ill. I took him to the doctor. I worried myself sick every time he wandered off somewhere at night. I went to school every time he got into a fight. And you, what? You wrote some fucking letters.
Christopher gets up out of the sleeping bag.
So, you thought it was okay to tell him his mother was dead?
Now is not the time.
Christopher finds a Swiss Army knife.
I'm going to see him, and if you try to stop me.
Ed gets into Christopher's room. Christopher points his knife at him. Judy comes in.
It's okay, Christopher. I won't let him do anything. You're all right.
Christopher?
Ed squats down, completely exhausted. Christopher still points the knife at him.
Christopher, I'm really, really sorry about the letters. I never meant. I promise I will never do anything like that again.
Ed spreads his fingers and tries to get Christopher to touch them. Christopher ignores him. He still holds his knife out. He groans.
Shit, Christopher, please.
Mr. Boone.
What the fuck are you doing here? Did you call him?
Mr. Boone, come on, mate.
Don't fucking mate me. This is my son.
I know. This can all be sorted out. Just come with me. Please.
I think you should go now. I think he's frightened.
I'll be back. Christopher, I'll be back. I promise you, Christopher. I promise you, lad.
Christopher groans. London policeman makes Ed leave. Roger watches them both leave. Judy and Christopher are left alone together.
You go back to sleep now. Everything is going to be all right.
They leave Christopher in his room. He lies down. He settles. 46, Judy's kitchen. Immediately he had settled. It is the next morning. Roger and Judy give Christopher breakfast. He is overwhelmed by them.
I just lost my place. Somebody read it.
Okay, he can stay for a few days.
He can stay as long as he needs to stay.
This flat is
This flat is hardly big enough for you two people, let alone three.
He can understand what you're saying, you know.
What's he going to do? There's no school for him to go to. We've both got jobs. It's bloody ridiculous.
He gives him a strawberry milkshake.
Roger, that's enough. You can stay as long as you want to stay.
It was Mother who gave me the milkshake.
They look at him.
It was Mother who gave me the milkshake, not you.
Judy picks the milkshake up.
You need to shout more loudly at him, like you're really angry with him, not just be nice.
Judy looks at him, nods.
Okay.
She puts the milkshake down. She's much angrier.
Roger, that's enough. You can stay as long as you want to stay.
She looks at Christopher, examining his response, expecting more feedback.
I have to go back to Swindon.
They both look at him.
Oh, Christopher, you only just got here.
I have to go back because I have to sit my maths A level.
You're doing maths A level?
Yes. I'm taking it on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday next week.
God.
The Reverend Peters is going to be the supervisor.
I mean, that's really good.
I'm going to get an A, and that's why I have to go back to Swindon. Except I can't see Father. I have to go back to Swindon with you.
I don't know whether that's going to be possible.
But I have to go.
Let's talk about this some other time, okay?
Okay, but I have to go back to Swindon.
He stands and leaves.
Christopher, please.
47, London Street at night.
What time is it?
7 minutes past 2 in the morning.
I can't sleep.
It's because you're scared of Mr. Shears. You're being silly.
there's nobody about. You can hear the traffic.
Christopher wanders down the street.
What cars are there?
A Fiesta, a Nissan Micra, a Peugeot, a Ford Granada.
What colors are they?
I can't tell. I can only see orange and black, and mixtures of orange and black.
Look at the things people have in their front garden.
Oh yes, is that an elf?
It's a gnome, and a teddy bear, and a little pond, look.
And an oven. I like looking up at the sky.
Me too.
When you look at the sky at night, you know you're looking at stars, which are hundreds and thousands of light years away from you. And some of the stars don't exist anymore because their light has taken so long to get to us that they are already dead, or they have exploded and collapsed into red dwarfs. And that makes you seem very small. And if you have difficult things in your life, it's nice to think that they are what is called negligible, which means they are so small you don't have to take them into account when you are calculating something. I can't see any stars here.
No.
It's because of all the light pollution in London. All the light from the street lights and the car headlights and floodlights and lights in the building reflect off tiny particles in the atmosphere, and they get in the way of the light from the stars.
Christopher?
Judy starts looking for Christopher.
I have to go.
Don't.
I have to.
Siobhan, where are you going? Siobhan!
Christopher? Christopher?
Christopher stands up. Judy stares at him.
Jesus Christ. What are you doing out here? I've been looking for you. I thought you'd gone. If you ever do that again, I swear to God, Christopher, I love you, but I don't know what I'll do. You need to promise me you won't leave the flat on your own again, Christopher. Christopher, do you promise me that?
Yes.
You can't trust people in London.
48, Judy's home.
Don't be a bloody fool.
I'm not being a bloody fool, Roger. They got somebody in. They didn't even call me. They didn't ask if I wanted to come back. I've been off 2 days. It's illegal, that is.
It was a temporary job, for Christ's sake.
I have to go to Swindon to take my A-level.
Christopher, not now. I'm getting phone calls from your father, threatening to take me to court. I'm getting so much grief from Roger. It's not a good time.
But I have to go because it's been arranged and the Reverend Peters is going to invigilate.
It's only an exam. I can ring the school. We can get it postponed. You can take it some other time.
I can't take it another time. It's been arranged, and I've done lots of revision. And Mrs. Gascon says we could use a room at school.
Christopher, I am just about holding this together. But I am this close to losing it, all right? So just give me some...
She breaks. She cries. She holds her fist to her mouth to try to stop herself. She leaves the room. She comes back. 49, Hampstead Heath.
Would you like an iced lolly?
Yes, I would, please.
Would you like a strawberry one?
Yes, I would, please, because that's red. What's it called here?
It's called Hampstead Heath. I love it. You can see all over London.
Where are the planes going to?
Heathrow, I think. Christopher, I rang Miss Gascon. I told her that you're going to take your maths A-level next year.
Christopher screams. He throws his iced lolly away.
Christopher, please, calm down, okay? Okay, Christopher. Just calm down, love. Is he okay? Well, what does it look like to you?
Christopher screams and screams. He only stops because his chest hurts and he runs out of breath. 50, Judy's home. Roger gives Christopher a radio and 3 children's books.
Here we are. You wanted a radio, 100 number puzzles. It's from the library. This one is called The Origins of the Universe. And this one is Nuclear Power.
They're for children. They're not very good. I'm not going to read them.
Well, it's nice to know my contribution is appreciated.
51, Judy's kitchen.
Christopher, I made you a chart. Because you've got to eat, love. In here is some Complan. It's a powdered nutrition drink, and it's got strawberry flavoring in it.
Complan?
Be quiet, Roger. Christopher, if you drink 200 milliliters, then I'm going to put a bronze star on your chart.
I don't believe this.
Roger, for God's sake, please. If you drink 400 milliliters, you get a silver star.
Ha!
And if you drink 600 milliliters, you get a gold star.
A gold star? Well, that's very original, I have to say.
52, Judy's home. Christopher picks up the radio. He leaves. He detunes it so that it is between 2 stations. He listens to the white noise. He turns the volume up very high. Some time. Roger watches him. He opens and drinks 4 cans of lager. He necks the lager in one go. Roger comes into his room. He is very drunk.
You think you're so clever, don't you? Don't you ever think about other people for 1 second, eh? I bet you're really pleased with yourself now, aren't you?
He grabs at Christopher. Christopher rolls himself into a ball to hide. Judy comes into the room. She grabs Roger. She pulls him away from Christopher. Christopher is moaning, still in his ball.
Christopher, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I promise this will never happen again.
He remains in his ball. He doesn't stop moaning. Judy and Roger leave. Eventually, he calms. 53, Judy's home.
What time is it?
It's 4 o'clock.
What are you doing?
I'm packing some clothes.
Where's Mr. Shears?
He's asleep. Come downstairs. Bring Toby. Get into the car.
Into Mr. Shears' car?
That's right.
Are you stealing the car?
I'm just borrowing it.
Where are we going?
You're going home.
Do you mean home in Swindon?
Yes.
Is Father going to be there?
Please, Christopher. Don't give me any hassle right now. Okay?
I don't want to be with Father.
Just, it's going to be all right, Christopher. Okay? It's going to be all right.
Are we going back to Swindon so I can do my maths A level?
What?
I meant to be doing my maths A level tomorrow.
We're going back to Swindon because if we stay in London any longer, someone was going to get hurt. And I don't necessarily mean you. Now, I need you to be quiet for a while.
How long do you need me to be quiet for?
Jesus! Half an hour, Christopher. I need you to be quiet for half an hour.
54, home.
How the fuck did you get in here?
This is my house, too, in case you've forgotten.
Is your fancy man here as well?
Christopher starts drumming on one of those boxes. He begins drumming on them. He drums and drums and drums and drums. Ed and Judy talking inaudibly under the drumming.
Christopher, he's gone. You don't need to panic.
Where's he gone to?
He's gone to stay at his friend's house for a while.
Is he going to be arrested and go to prison?
What for?
For killing Wellington.
I don't think so. I think he'll only get arrested if Mrs. Shears presses charges.
What's that?
It's when you tell the police to arrest somebody for little crimes. They only arrest people for little crimes if you ask them.
Is killing Wellington a little crime?
Yes, love, it is. In the next few weeks, we're going to try and get a place of our own to live in.
Can I still take my A level?
You're not listening to me, are you, Christopher?
I am listening to you.
I told you. I rang your headmistress. I told her you were in London. I told her you'd do it next year.
But I'm here now, so I can take it.
I'm sorry, Christopher. I didn't know we'd be coming back. This isn't going to solve anything.
55 Street.
You've got some fucking nerve.
Where are we going?
Swanning round to you as if nothing ever happened.
Ignore her, Christopher.
So, he's finally dumped you too, has he?
Where are we going?
You already come in. Don't try to pretend you didn't, because you fucking did.
Where are we going?
We're going to the school.
56 School.
So, you're Christopher's mother.
That's right. And you're...
I'm Siobhan. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It's nice to meet you too.
Hello, Christopher.
Hello.
Are you okay?
I'm tired.
He's a bit upset.
Because of the A level, you said?
He won't eat. He won't sleep.
Yeah. I spoke to Mrs. Gascon after you called.
Right.
She still actually has your A-level papers in the three sealed envelopes in her desk.
I still actually have the A-level papers in my desk.
Does that mean I can still do my A level?
I think so. We're going to ring the Reverend Peters to make sure he can still come in this afternoon and be your supervisor. And Mrs. Gascon is going to call the examination board to say that you're going to take the exam after all. I thought I should tell you now, so you could think about it.
So I could think about what?
Is this what you want to do, Christopher? If you say you don't want to do it, no one is going to be angry with you. And it won't be wrong or illegal or stupid. It will just be what you want, and that will be fine.
I want to do it.
Okay. How tired are you?
Very.
How's your brain when you think about maths?
I don't think it really works very well.
What's the logarithmic formula for the approximate number of prime numbers not greater than x?
I can't think.
57 Exam Room. Reverend Peters enters. He picks up one envelope. He opens it. He looks at it. He carefully places it face down on Christopher's table. He goes to sit opposite him. He takes out a stopwatch.
So this is jolly exciting, eh, Christopher? Well, I'm excited anyway. Now, the exam is going to last for 90 minutes, Christopher, okay? First thing to do is put your name on the front. Okay, young man, are you ready to roll? Turn the paper over, please, Christopher, and begin.
Christopher turns over the exam paper. He stares at it. He can't understand any questions. He panics. His breathing becomes erratic. To calm himself, he counts the cubes of cardinal numbers.
1, 8, 27, 64, 125, 216, 343, 512, 729, 1000, 1331.
Are you all right, Christopher?
I can't read the questions.
What do you mean?
I can't read the questions.
Can you see the question?
I can see the questions, but I can't read the questions because when I look at the words, they all seem confused and mixed up in the wrong way to me.
Right.
What does this question say?
Christopher, I'm afraid I can't help you like that. I'm not allowed to.
Christopher, stop groaning. Get your breath. Count the cubes of the cardinal numbers again.
1, 8, 27, 64, 125, 216, 343, 512, 729, 1000, 1331.
Now, have another go.
He looks at the questions again.
Show that a triangle with sides that can be written in the form n squared plus 1, n squared minus 1 and 2n, where n is greater than 1, is right-angled.
You don't have to tell us.
What?
You don't have to tell us how you solved it.
But it's my favorite question.
Yes, but it's very interesting.
I think it is.
Christopher, people won't figure out the answer to a maths question in a play. Look, why don't you tell it after the curtain call? When you're finished, you can do a bow, and then people who want to can go home. And if anybody wants to find out how you solved the maths question, then they can stay and you can tell them at the end. Okay?
Okay.
He picks up his pencil. He starts answering. 58, home. Ed enters. Judy is behind him.
Don't scream. Okay, Christopher. I'm not going to hurt you.
Ed crouches down by Christopher.
I want to ask you how the exam went.
Tell him, Christopher. Please, Christopher.
I don't know if I got all the questions right because I was very tired and I hadn't eaten any food, so I couldn't think properly.
Ed nods. There's some time.
Thank you.
What for?
Just thank you. I'm very proud of you, Christopher. Very proud. I'm sure you did really well.
59, school.
How's your flat?
It's not really a flat. It's a room. It's very small. The corridor's painted brown. Other people use the toilet. Mother has to clean the toilet before I can use it. Sometimes there are other people in there, so I do wet myself. The corridor smells like gravy and bleach. The room smells like socks and pine air freshener. Another bad thing that happened is that Toby died. Because he was 2 years and 7 months old, which is very old for a rat. I don't like waiting for my A-level results. If I was living at your house, I would have room to put all my things and I wouldn't have to share the toilet with strangers. Can I come and live in your house so that I'll have room to put all my things and I wouldn't have to share the toilet with strangers?
No, Christopher, you can't.
Why can't I? Is it because I'm too noisy and sometimes I'm difficult to control?
No. It's because I'm not your mother, Christopher.
No.
That's very important, Christopher. Do you understand that?
I don't know. Mother doesn't get back from work until 5:30, so I have to go to Father's house between 6:49 and 5:30 because I'm not allowed to be on my own. Mother said I didn't have a choice. I push the bed up against the door in case Father tries to come into the room. Sometimes he tries to talk to me through the door. I don't answer him. Sometimes he sits outside the door quietly for a long time.
Ed enters. He's holding a kitchen timer. 60, home.
Christopher, can I have a talk with you?
Christopher turns away from Siobhan.
No, you can't. No.
It's okay. I'll be here.
I don't want to talk to Father.
I'll do you a deal. 5 minutes, okay? That's all.
Ed sets the timer for 5 minutes. It starts ticking.
Christopher, look, things can't go on like this. I don't know about you, but this just hurts too much. You being in the house but refusing to talk to me. You have to learn to trust me. And I don't care how long it takes. If it's a minute one day and 2 minutes the next, and 3 minutes the next, and it takes years, I don't care. Because this is important. This is more important than anything else. Let's call it a project. A project we have to do together. You have to spend more time with me. And I have to show you that you can trust me. And it will be difficult at first because it's a difficult project. But it will get better, I promise. You don't have to say anything. Not right now. You have to think about it, and I've got you a present to show you that I really mean what I say, and to say sorry. And because, well, you'll see what I mean.
Ed leaves. He comes back with a big cardboard box. It is importantly cardboard and different to the other boxes. There's a blanket in it. He puts his hands in the box. He takes out a little sandy-colored golden retriever.
He's 2 months old. Christopher, I would never, ever do anything to hurt you.
The dog sits on Christopher's lap.
You won't be able to take him away with you, I'm afraid. The flat's too small. But your father's going to look after him here. And you can come and take him out for walks whenever you want.
Does he have a name?
No. You can decide what to call him.
Sandy. He's called Sandy.
The alarm goes off. They look at each other.
We need to go now.
Yes.
We'll come back tomorrow and you can see him then.
61 school.
Christopher,
Yes?
here.
What's this?
It's your result, Christopher.
Right.
You need to open it and read it.
Right.
He opens it and reads it.
Well, what does it say?
I got an A.
Oh, that's terrific, Christopher.
Yes.
Aren't you happy?
Yes, it's the best result.
I know it is. How's your dog?
He's very well, thank you. I stayed last week at Father's because Mother got the flu, and he slept on my bed so he can bark in case anybody comes into my room at night.
Right. How are you getting on with your father?
He planted a vegetable patch in his garden. I help him and Sandy watched. We planted carrots and peas and spinach, and I'm going to pick them when they're ready. He brought me a book, which is called Further Maths for A Level. He told Mrs. Gascon that I was going to take further maths next year. She said okay. I'm going to pass it and get an A. And then in 2 years I'll take a A-level physics and get an A. And then I'm going to go to university in another town. I can take Sandy and my book and my computer. I can live in a flat with a garden and a proper toilet. Then I'll get a first-class honors degree. Then I'll be a scientist. I can do these things.
I hope so.
I can't because I went to London on my own.
She looks at him.
I solved the mystery of who killed Wellington.
She looks at him.
I found my mother. I was brave.
You were.
And I wrote a book.
I know. I read it. We turned it into a play.
Yes. Does that mean I can do anything you think? Does that mean I can do anything, Siobhan? Does that mean I can do anything?
The two look at each other for a while. Lights black. After the curtain call, Christopher returns to the stage. He gets the attention of anybody still in the audience. Even if it is just one person, he thanks them for staying. Using as much theatricality as we can throw at it, using music, lights, sound, lasers, the boxes, the train tracks, the rest of the company, the orchestra, the ushers, for Christ's sakes, using dance, song, bells, whistles, the works, he proves to be by means of a counterexample that a triangle with sides that can be written in the form of n² + 1 n squared minus 1, and 2n, where n is greater than 1, is right angled. Maths appendix. After the applause, lights down, smoke, Christopher appears rising through the center trap. This is very cool. Electro music.
Thank you very much for clapping, and thank you very much for staying behind to listen to how I answered the questions of my Maths A level. Siobhan said it wouldn't be very interesting, but I said it was. She didn't tell me what I should use, so I decided to use all the machines and the computers in the theaters, including VL3500 arc lights, which are moving lights, light emitting diodes, Meyer MSL2 speakers, a DPA boom mic, and Sennheiser radio transmitter, 4 PTD 20KS Panasonic overhead projectors, and our stage manager called Name, who will operate these. I had 90 minutes to answer 19 questions, but I spent 14 minutes doing moaning and groaning, which meant I only had 4 minutes to answer this question.
The timer is projected, displaying 4.00.00.
Show that a triangle with sides that can be written in the form n squared plus 1, n squared minus 1, and 2n, where n is bigger than 1, is right angled. And this is what I wrote.
Christopher runs and starts the timer.
Start the clock.
A right angled triangle is made using projection or lasers if you have the money, or holograms if you are in the future.
If a triangle is right angled, one of its angles will be 90 degrees and will therefore follow Pythagoras' theorem. Pythagoras said that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. To put it simply, if you draw squares outside the 3 sides of a right angled triangle and then add the area of the 2 smaller squares, this will equal the area of the large square. This is only true if the triangle is right angled. Come on, Bluey. The level A question in this algebraic formula for making the right angled triangle. Algebra is like a computer program that works for whatever numbers you put into it. N squared plus 1 is the biggest number in this equation, which makes it the hypotenuse, which is the longest side of the triangle. To find the area of a square, you must multiply the length by the width. So the area of this square is 2n times 2n, which equals 4n squared. The area of this square is n squared minus 1 times n squared minus 1, which equals n to the power of 4 minus 2n squared plus 1. Now, if we add these 2 squares together, this equals n to the power of 4 plus 2n squared plus 1. Now, we need to find the area of the hypotenuse, which is n squared plus 1 times n squared plus 1, which equals n to the power of 4 plus 2n plus 1, 2n squared plus 1, which is the same term. So the area of the 2 small squares added up to the area of the larger square. So all my squares fit together to satisfy Pythagoras' theorem, so the triangle is right angled. And that is how I got an A. Confetti!
Christopher exits, and the show is over.
Confetti!
My brain hurts.
So mean making theater kids do math.
Right.
Great job, everybody. Thank you, Liz, right? Correct? Am I correct in that name? Thank you for taking over for me. I'm sorry that I love naps and I'm terrible at waking up to alarms. It was so good to hear you all read. So good to have you a part of this. As always, we love to promote a charity to donate to. So you right now, anybody that's here right now, and you in the future, anybody that's here in the future can donate to these things. Executive decision decided on www.autismsociety.org. I think it's apt in this show to donate to people that are either on the spectrum or deal specifically with autism or Asperger's. It's a thing that I do not have to deal with, and I'm very lucky in that sense, but that does not mean that I should not give to people that do deal with these things. I think this show emulates very well the ways that the mind works if you do suffer or deal with these sort of issues. Or I shouldn't have said suffer. Very sorry. Yeah, I think it's a super important issue, and I don't want to make anybody that deals with these issues seem like they're less of a person. So suffer is a terrible word to have used. But yeah, go donate to this wonderful charity. They specifically right now during COVID and all these just horrible societal and recreational and just everything, the way that COVID has like brought things down in our world. People that are on the spectrum or dealing with Asperger's or have autism in any sense, their lives have changed immensely, just like ours, but even more so because of the fact that this world does not include them in many things. So go donate to autism-society.org. Super important that we help people that are marginalized from us in any sort of way. And yeah, that's, I think, the charity that I have to promote. Please come to the discussion on Monday about this show. We are reading the show again tomorrow night. If you're available, please come to that and support your other theater folk. We also are trying out a new thing where we decide a play a week in advance to give you all more time to decide if you would like to be a part of it. No worries. We're all very super grateful that every single one of you people are here right now. And we know that like putting a sort of call for people to read on Monday and then expecting them to be ready by Thursday is super intense. Also because we decide on the show on Monday, and so usually we put out the call Monday or Tuesday, which is even less days. So yeah, I'm not sure, Erin or Tom, how to do we want to announce what the show is right now, or do we want to announce what the show is tomorrow and just let the people here know?
Let's do tomorrow.
Forerunners are.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Especially since we need to figure out what the tiebreaker is, because there's two shows because it's actually 6 Rounds of Vengeance by Keenan and Eurydice by Sarah Rule both have 6 votes. So we have to decide which one of those two we're going to do.
Yeah. And
or you guys can all go on and vote today.
Yeah,
change it up.
Go vote. If you are available and you aren't using Facebook, if you are using Facebook, whatever, let us know that you are interested to read next week. As of like next week, the 4 of us miscreants are going to be back at work. And so things are going to become a little more, thank you, Val, for clapping.
Well, I mean, that's got to be good, right?
In some ways it is good. Fuck places for opening up that don't need us to open up sooner than we need to, because this world is just based around capitalism, and that shit's just, pardon my French, but bullshit. But I do appreciate the sentiment, not to like discount your support. It means the world to me to have you in my corner. But yeah, go vote. So next week is going to be sort of one of the last weeks where things are a little more regular for this. Not to say that we aren't going to do this every week, but just we are going to figure things out from here on out in the future. And hopefully that's in benefit for you all. I mean, the reason that we are doing this is for you all. It's just maybe it's for us. Maybe it's for the 4 of us because we love to see you every week. Who knows? Here I am just rambling Doron. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
We could all just fuss over Angela's dog for a second.
It's Liz's dog.
Hi, Liz's dog.
This is Alan.
Oh my god, it's so cute. Doron, I just want to say thank you, everybody. As always, you guys are so talented.
Yeah,
so great. And that dog is really, really cute. Doron, do you have control over the recording now that you're the host?
I do. I can press stop recording at any time. I didn't want to press stop recording when we transferred it to a dog. That felt a little specifically
a little more
tonight.
dog time.
Especially. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I can stop recording. If anybody has anything else they want to say, I mean, I personally, I feel, I made an executive decision. This is mostly between us miscreants, but of sort of shouting out this charity. But I know that we all sort of, that we all have like different knowledge. Is there other sort of charities that deal with autism or things that you want to promote that have like that support people on the spectrum or with Asperger's or autism specifically? I don't want to like make these executive decisions, especially because I do not personally deal with that, and I feel like it'd be wrong for me to just be like, this is the thing you should donate to without really having much of a grasp.
Oh my God, he's so much.
I think the only I used to work with kids on the spectrum and kids with other learning disabilities, and I think the only like really problematic autism group, I think it's Autism Speaks, that people with autism take a little exception to, because they treat it like a disease that needs curing instead of treating it like they're human beings whose brains just work differently. So it kind of others them, and they don't, and people I know who are on the spectrum are like, I don't like that. Heard I have this great brain. Am I right? Am I correctly?
As Val said, I am someone that is on the spectrum, and that was the only thing I was going to say, is that as a rule, tend to avoid Autism Speaks. It's good for information, I won't say that, but they do try to make it more that it's something that can be resolved rather than it's something that can be adapted, if that makes any sense. Like figuring out ways to help you adapt and figuring out communication, that stuff. So besides that, that's the only one I know. There's one that is specific to Colorado. I think it's the Autism Society Colorado org, I believe, but I'm not 100% sure if you want to go with a more local chapter.
Word. Well, yeah, thank you for that sort of clarity. That was a thing I was definitely worried about, is making sure that there's representation involved in these decisions. Again, I don't suffer, I don't deal with these issues, so I personally like struggled in like making sure that the choice I was making was correct. So I appreciate that. If you want information, Autism Speaks. Otherwise, nope. Choose another place. But yeah, if anybody has anything else they want to say before I stop recording, please feel free. No worries at all. If you do not, no pressure at all involved. I appreciate all of you for reading. I know some of you are going to be here again tomorrow night, which is fucking lit.
Lit.
Cool. I'm gonna press stop recording.